Good evening. The recent thaw-and-freeze cycle is wreaking havoc on city streets. Pesky potholes are proving to be a problem for motorists. Bart Patiasic finds out how much damage they can actually cause and how the city is dealing with them.
It's a sight that's all too common this time of year, potholes. And drivers seem to have strong opinions on the situation here on border city streets.
I love the town, so don't get me wrong, but the potholes are definitely an issue. I was in the snow removal business for 15 years, and I've never come across anything like this in my life.
It's really bad. They're getting worse and worse. It doesn't seem like they've fixed too much from last summer when they were fixing all the roads and stuff. It's still pretty bad here.
Yes, there's quite a few of them and they need to get fixed ASAP.
According to the city, potholes have formed earlier than usual because of extreme weather shifts we've experienced recently.
What I'm starting to learn is there's no typical winter, and certainly whenever we get the freezing and thawing temperatures, whether that's January, February, March, we will see these potholes. So residents should be advised and take precautions.
The city is currently working on filling potholes as soon as they can, working on a priority first basis.
So we ask residents to let us know anytime they come across a particularly bad pothole.
Unfortunately for local drivers, dealing with potholes right now could put a dent in your wallet.
Between tires and bent rims, every year is the same thing. I've replaced a tire from a pothole every year since I've been here.
Every year, Kent Stanifirth sees customers coming around this time because of potholes.
Definitely does a number on some of the custom and aluminum wheels and even tires. The impact itself can damage the construction of the rubber, but for the most part, suspension, some front end parts, and aluminum wheels are typically what the biggest damage is done.
Stanifirth says it could run you anywhere from a couple $100s to fix a tire to thousands for more complicated problems. He says damage can be easy to spot.
Sometimes it's clearly visible right to the eye. You can see, some maybe a bulge on the sidewall of the tire itself, which would tell you that there's been an impact break to the tire.
To report potholes, you can visit the city website or contact the Public Works Department directly. Bart Patiasic, Newcap News.
It's not easy to say farewell to a longtime member of the community, but the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation is saying goodbye to one of its own. Anna Stanislaw has more.
When Georgina Altman first started at the LRHF 13 years ago, she was a one-person shop responsible for all aspects of the foundation. And now she says it's time to move on.
And I just felt it was time for me to step aside and let somebody else kind of take things forward. We're at a great moment. There's really great innovative things that can happen in healthcare in Lloydminster, and every time we see an innovation here, it's because our community steps up and makes a difference.
The LRHF is a non-profit organization that raises funds to enhance healthcare needs in the community. With Altman at the helm, she helped raise millions of dollars through annual galas, golf tournaments, and more.
So in the last 5 years alone, it's been over $13.7 million. About 8 of that going back into healthcare needs. The rest of it has been, we're saving for projects that are underway right now, so we're holding onto those funds and we pay for them, pay it out, I guess, as the project's complete.
George has been the lead on it, and of course she has a very good staff that we have in place right now. So it all ties together, but it's a huge number for our size of a community.
Although her last day will be in April, she says she still plans to continue working with the foundation and being a donor.
My plans as I leave here will be to start my own business. Once I've completed the work here, I will start my own business in consulting, working with other nonprofits and for-profit businesses, as well as doing some executive coaching.
The foundation is still in the process of looking for Altman's successor.
It's a process that's going to take some time, and we're on it right now. So hopefully in the next couple of months we have someone in line, and we'll start again from there.
As for Altman, she has this message for the person who will take over her role.
I hope that they keep dreaming big. I think that there's lots more that we can do here, and there's always a need. And I hope that they really embrace that and just keep things moving forward.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
The Lloydminster Public School Division is looking at the possibility of introducing a French immersion program for next fall. The school board says recent interest from parents has captured their attention. If they go ahead with the program, Dr. Michael Diachuk says the school's curriculum will require some changes.
That we'll be operating in what we call a dual track environment. Many schools, for instance in Edmonton Public, they run with a dual track school so that you can register and do your regular program in English, or you can do it in French immersion.
The registrations will determine which school the program will run in.
We would have the space available because they are in the school at that point, and all the other students, we would simply have a bus run, bring them to that center point. So the transportation piece, by and large, would be handled based on where the registrations are.
March 22nd is the deadline for registrations. For more information, check out the Lloydminster Public School Division's website. A few local high school students spent their long weekend competing against other students across Alberta. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, we take a look at a robotics competition in Edmonton as a group of Lloydminster comprehensive students put their building capabilities to the test. This robot is one of a few students created as part of a school project.
I always like building stuff, so I used to play with Meccano all the time. So it's kind of like this stuff. So it's cool to get to do it in class and get a mark on it.
The students were in Edmonton this past weekend for the VEX robotics competition. Nearly 40 teams across the province were competing against one another. This was the first time for these students.
It had to have something that could lift a beanbag and put it in either a trough or slide it on the floor or something like that. So you had to have some way to push or move a beanbag around. And then it had to have wheels, obviously. We didn't do really well. We had lots of malfunctions at the start. The robot wouldn't work properly, but I think we problem solved enough when we were there, and we figured it out for that. Our last two matches were really well done.
The competition was fierce, but for these guys, the chance to compete against others was fun.
It was really cool to see how much time and effort lots of different groups had put into it, I guess. There was some really big and crazy robots going around there, I guess.
What we're trying to do is meet the needs of, or the interests of some of the students here at the school. There's a growing interest in robotics within the province, various competitions, and students want to be involved in that.
For those students who will return to the competition next year, they now understand what works and what doesn't for their next robot. And they'll also be looking for a better outcome.
We didn't come in last, which is important.